In the beginning, it was simple. I just liked being outdoors, and I found animals interesting. As my career developed a little bit, and certainly my outlook, I became much more interested in wildlife conservation. Couple that with the desire to fix something broken, and this was a perfect combination for me to get into. It's a species that was on the brink of extinction. There was little hope, there hadn't really been past efforts to put these animals back out in the wild, but the conditions had changed so much that I think a lot of people walked away and said, man, there's not much hope to do that. How are you going to put wolves back out there? Now the landscape's changed so much and there's so few. I kind of saw that as a challenge.
The red wolf wasn't always one of the most endangered canids in the world. Red wolves used to range from the northeast, west through the southern half of Illinois and Missouri, and to the south, from Florida to the eastern part of Texas, and everywhere in between.
It was like every other predator in North America. They were shot, trapped, poisoned, whatever.
Beginning in 1900, their population dwindled to the point where they could only be found in one small area of southeastern Texas and southwestern Louisiana. The red wolf was declared endangered in 1967 and protected under the Endangered Species Act in 1973, when we Americans realized the threat of losing many species in their habitats.
They removed the animals from the wild. They had to get them healthy. So now they became a captive population.
By 1980, the red wolf was declared biologically extinct in the wild.
The numbers came down to 17, and out of 17, only 14 could literally reproduce and provide the bloodlines to save this critter.
There was a real important step, and that was establishing that managed breeding program for the wolves.
The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service decided to try something that had never been done before. To reintroduce this endangered predator back into the wild, they chose northeastern North Carolina.
When they were bringing red wolves in here, they needed some temporary help. I got a part-time job down here, and as they let the wolves go, I knew they were going to need somebody else to continue to do work. There was one full-time biologist. And once the wolves got out, somebody had to track them every day. There was a lot to keep up with. They opened up a technician job, and it just sort of progressed from there. So prior to 1986, I never heard of a red wolf. I didn't know they existed.
Those captive animals were released into the wild, and that's what had never been done before.
So when we first released the wolves back in 1987, their behavior was pretty laughable and sad. I would say 50 to 80% of them probably died within a year of the first releases because the animals had always relied on people. The first really positive, memorable occurrence was one of the pairs of wolves successfully bred had a pup. 344 was her stud book number. The idea of taking something where there were very few of them that had the odds stacked against them and providing them an opportunity, a habitat, a time, a space to go back to what they naturally are supposed to be. I mean, to me, that was a very rewarding thing.